All right, guys, let's talk about some confusing teams. These are not bad teams, although the Warriors are 500. The Cavs, Wolves, and Knicks, they've all been good to start the year, but there's some stuff. Also, there's a sponsor. Let's start with the Warriors. I think by now everybody knows the tough schedule they've had, the amount of travel, back-to-backs, etc. I feel like they need a trade, but they also need more than just one type of guy. Like, two of their recent games, to me, are the biggest examples of this. The Magic game, you had Steph and Jimmy both drop 30-something, and the rest of the team, besides Draymond doing a little bit, couldn't score much. And there was this one play from Pods. I don't want to single him out, like we'll talk about the team, but like he was wide open with Wendell closing out to him. Like he had an open three, and he passed up the three and then chose to drive and missed this floater that had no chance after they were kind of loading the floor up against Jimmy. And Pods was better in their last one against the Blazers, but in general this season, he's been a hot topic among Warriors fans and not always in the most positive light, to put it nicely. And it does feel like this team, like one of the guys they could need is just someone who can give them a consistent like 16, 17 a game. Besides Steph or Jimmy, unless you want to keep on hoping for Pods to pop off one game, Moody another game, etc. Now, the first few games of the year, it looked like that was going to be Kuminga, but then his minutes dipped, and lately he's just been out. And then the other game that they had recently was the Blazers' loss, where Avdia being able to just go at like Steph or Pods, or Moody wasn't able to stay in front of him like every time, and there were just a lot of size mismatches that he could go at where he drew a lot of fouls, and he also made a lot of plays for like Klingon, where Draymond would have to over-rotate to stop a layup, and then Klingon's getting a lob, or they were just helping like crazy out of the wings to play off of Caleb Love and Tumani Kamara went nuts from three. Like they will make the bet that's not going to happen all the time, but they had some pretty clean looks from three nonetheless, and they had to keep rotating hard to have a chance defensively. And the way to solve that type of thing is either you beef up your on-ball defense or you have a great rim-protecting five who is younger than Horford and better than Post and TJD. For what it's worth, Quentin Post's rim protection numbers are better than you might think they are. On top of, again, like just some of these guards that bigger guys can go at, it just feels like they have to overhelp sometimes. Now, as I say this, I believe they're like 12th in defensive rating for the season so far, which, I mean, that is fine. It's not great. They are bundled up with like a whole bunch of teams where the decimal points are pretty minuscule. They're basically a mid-tier defense right now. And I do think that one game against the Hospital Pacers where they scored 84 points is still doing a bit of legwork for them in that. Also, if I could be a happy Celtics fan real quick, watching Time Lord defensively in the fourth quarter against them in that Blazers game was like unbelievable. It took me back a few years ago. Like he was helping off a GP2 or Pods or even Quentin Post. He's cutting off Jimmy drives. He's blocking Draymond. He even blocked a Quentin Post 3. Like it was crazy. So yeah, I feel like they need like a better on-ball defender or one more on-ball defender who can hopefully still shoot. Now, they're hoping DeAnthony Melton could be that, okay. I mean, Melton is good, but we'll see when he comes back. I do think they could also still just use like a good traditional big guy who can protect the basket, rebound, just give them more size in general, and also is not Al Horford's age. I love him, but it is what it is. Like, I've seen Warriors fans theorizing, like, could we get Zubac, given how the Clippers are going right now? Now, I don't think the Clippers want to do a teardown. I think they just have to figure it out with the team they've got. There was a John Collins rumor today. I don't think Zubac is really available. We all know that Kuminga cannot be dealt until January. As far as what you think his market is a whole nother convo. They do have most of their picks to deal. So we'll see. I mean, look, they did have those back-to-back Spurs wins where like Steph went nuclear in both of them and Moody went nuts in one. Jimmy went nuts from three in one of them. They forced Wemby into some turnovers. Fox had a really bad last minute in one of those games. So there's something in there. And again, the schedule has been rough early on. So yeah, size, defense, another guy who can score like that. Like it's a lot of things to want. And in the meantime, you're hoping for consistent Pods. The most that Moody can give you as a scorer, Kuminga coming back and getting back to those first 5 games, you get it. Before we get back to it, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. So I saw the tickets for Nets, Celtics, in Boston, and then I got curious and I just checked the prices in Brooklyn for games this season, and hey, if you find yourself in New York, it might be the cheapest NBA ticket you can get this season. I don't know if that's true. I didn't check the other bad teams, but I'll just act like I did. Anyway, if you want to go to any NBA game or sporting event, concert, festival, many things, then you can use SeatGeek, as I have before, and it's always been good. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, and with over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. SeatGeek rates deals on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Just look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and you can use my code FunkyDiabetic10 for 10% off your next order at SeatGeek. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. One more time, AFunkyDiabetic 10% off, SeatGeek, good stuff. Anyway, that's the dubs for you. Next up, we're going to go to the T-Wolves. So, some of this is off the back of a disastrous last minute against the Suns where, it's just the worst combination of Ant missed free throws, Julius Randle turnovers versus traffic, Goodwin and Gillespie going nuts late there. It was crazy. They lose an 8-point lead in the last minute or whatever it was. But it did also tap into something that just happens with the Wolves sometimes. Last regular season, they won 49 games, and yet all the advanced stats were no, these guys are better than a 49-win team. They make the conference finals. We know what happened. But sometimes they have stretches where stuff is just kind of dumb. On one of those steals, when Ant threw the inbound, nobody was trying to get the ball except for Dante, which I know is a routine thing, but Gillespie's denying the ball. Maybe somebody else should come over, stuff like that. They've beat up on bad teams. I talked about the Knicks loss where their defense was bad. Gobert's in the game. Rotations are bad on the back end. Our transition defense bad. Gobert's out of the game. It's a layup line. The Nuggets game they just had. So Ant was not good in that game. He still got to a decent point total, but the efficiency wasn't there. But also, for a team that has guarded the Nuggets, I would say the second best in the entire league besides OKC the past couple seasons. I'm not going to fact check that one, but you know what I mean. There were just some defensive breakdowns Conley being slow to Bruce Brown, or Bruce Brown beating Jaden in a 1v1 after the defense was pretty good otherwise, and then Hardaway's getting a 3, or Valanciunas beating, it was Randall and Dante for a putback, and then one time Payne Watson got so wide open for a dunk. The whole Wolves defense just looked like they basically gave up on that one play. It was just a backdoor cut, a classic Nuggets thing. But another thing too is Gobert was on Jokic for most of that game, Randall occasionally, and I do feel since they made the Cat-Randall trade, it feels like Gobert's been on Jokic more, and I'm just not sure how I feel about it for that matchup because it just doesn't allow Gobert to free roam and protect the basket. You're never going to be able to completely free roam against these guys, but I feel he's got a little more leeway depending if he's not on Jokic, but when he's on Jokic, he's just on Jokic. Any sort of backdoor cut, he can't help on. He can still stand in front of the basket when they run the Murray-Jokic two-man game. Murray pull-ups become harder, within the three-point line with Gobert there. I don't know. And other ends, again, Ant wasn't good. And also, whenever Gobert's rolling to the basket, late in that Nuggets game, the Nuggets are just putting so many bodies in the paint. Jokic is already in the paint, and then other guys are collapsing, daring kickouts, etc. The Wolves went cold from 3, and also I thought there were some missed good kickouts that could have been there from, Ant or Dante. So I don't know. We all know the Dillingham situation. Finch is just not playing him, and he's also just not shooting well at all. No matter who you want to blame there, it's just not going well. I guess I'm just waiting for the Wolves to have a really nice win against a good team. They play OKC in a couple days. OKC might win 70 games, but okay, there's your chance. Next up, let's go to the Cavs. So, we all know Garland, he hasn't played that many games. He just came back. That's all fine. They're 12-6. I just want to talk about Evan Mobley. Pretty similar stat line to last year on worse efficiency, although the last 3 games the efficiency has been better. I'm concerned about the free throws. And as far as everything else, the times when he's able to just get his open rolls or cuts or finishes, that's easy stuff. Against the Clippers, he had a bunch of those. That's great, whenever you can find those. But as far as whenever he's got to create for himself, have the ball at the top of the key, high post, free throw line, whatever, he will still have these plays that are really great, where he's going to Miles Turner or Jabari. In some of the recent games, finishing through contact, being too much to deal with, whatever. And then other times, whether it's the handle's not good enough, the strength isn't there enough, I don't know. In the Bucks game, he had 2 really good plays going to Turner, and then he had another one where he just kind of got swallowed up under the basket and had a turnover against him. He had 6 turnovers in that game, missed some free throws. One time you see him not be able to handle a Giannis, Bobby Portis double team, he loses the ball. Another time, it's Kuzma single coverage, he just bodies him and gets fouled. They won the game, but basically another offensive jump has just not happened yet for Mobley. The 3-point rate's a little higher, but that's about it. The free throw attempts are up, but the percentages are down. The finishing at the rim's a little worse. I'm I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, he's still a big positive overall. He's still an awesome defensive player, but that's just that. And with the missed games from Garland, Mitchell's had to go crazy. They needed some more Jalen Tyson on-ball reps. Sam Merrill also gave him a super scorching streak. Lonzo, it is really cool to just see random Lonzo passes. He had this great bounce pass to Mitchell on a swing pass where anybody else, it would have just been a normal pass. Lonzo's nope, this has to be a bounce pass. Perfectly in stride. I don't know. It was cool. Lonzo does have to get the 3 ball back up there because that is pretty much the only shot he takes now. The Cavs are good, with room to obviously be better with just a healthy Garland and a healthy Strus eventually. It's just in a season where the Pistons have clearly taken a jump. I am never going to count out Miami. Like, if there was ever a season in which Miami does some crazy Miami playoff stuff again, like, would this not be the season with everything going on in their new offense? Also, the Raptors, you get it. Now let's talk the Knicks. This is probably going to be the shortest one. As far as, like, stretches of games recently, I will just say the last one against the Magic that they lost, where Mitch ended up guarding Franz at the three-point line for a lot of those plays, it was just a very weird thing to watch. They need Mitch. OG has missed some games recently. I think everybody agrees they need Mitch. Mitch is playing 17 minutes a game right now. Like, if the difference between this team being good or not good on defense is Mitch, then you need that to get to like 25 a game. But it's been years now since he averaged 25 minutes a game in the regular season. I mean, in the round 2, when he devastated my Celtics with a plus 18 net rating, it was crazy. He averaged 20 minutes a game then. I mean, if you want to care, in the 41 minutes across 6 games that OG, McHale, and Mitch have played together, the Knicks have a 95 defensive rating, which is amazing, and a plus 42 net rating. So very, very small sample, but yeah, that's what you hope for. It's just how often are those 3 guys going to really be on the court at the same time? So we'll see. Other little things. I mean, Yabusele's been a disappointment. Cat has just not been good enough so far. He is missing a lot of those quick trail threes that feels like he usually shoots well on. Like, I'm not too concerned about Cat's percentages. I do think there was a quad thing for him at the beginning of the year. I will say that I don't love the fact that it feels like if Cat can't get himself like an open transition 3, it does feel like a lot of just grinding and difficult drives and just pounding the ball into the ground and on a back down. Like, it feels like that's still more difficult for him than you'd like it to be sometimes in the half court, but also he's really good, so you just kind of got to do that sometimes. Same thing with the Cavs. I'm not particularly freaked out by the Knicks. It's more so the beginning of the season has not been great, and also Pistons really good, Raptors good, Heat good, you get it. Now, what could they possibly add to the team? That's a tough one, given that they traded a bunch of picks and also most of their guys are under contract matter. You think a team would take Dadier? I mean, I can't imagine he'd be too much of an asset. Similar feeling about Yabusele's $5 million based on the way he's been so far. Whether it's some more big man insurance, maybe it's a forward that is better than Yabusele, at least so far this season for them, or, I mean, could they get Keon Ellis from the Kings? I mean, I'm sure a lot of teams are asking themselves that right now.